You on? Okay. Yes, we are. All right. Welcome to Introductory Performance Seminar. We still have one more minute to wait for another participants, and we're gonna get started. Okay, and meanwhile, let me just take attendance. Joseph is here. Good to see you guys again. Welcome back, Kiva and Joseph here. We have two Joseph. Joseph, are you joining from two? Oh, the two devices. Okay, got you. Surya, Surya's here. Surya or Surya? Please forgive me if I'm
Oh,
mispronouncing.
it's fine.
Is that Surya?
I guess you could say it like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But what's your correct pronunciation?
Surya.
Surya. Okay, so my first option was correct. Okay, thank you. Kiva. All right, so far we have three students. We're supposed to have like a full house today, 7 students. So how you been, guys? Good? How's your April going? Good? All right. And I see you guys playing beautiful music today. Okay, so it's 5:30. We're gonna go ahead and get started. So welcome to Introductory Performance Seminar. Today is April 3rd. And as many of you know, the performance seminar is for you guys to showcase your pieces of music you've been practicing on. And then in second part to work on concept of music or maybe practice some technical concept to improve your pieces even more. All right, so we're gonna get started and we're gonna start with Joseph. So please introduce yourself and what music are you playing today?
Hello, my name is Joseph, and I'll be playing the Sonata in C major by Mozart.
Right. All right, great performance, Joseph. What a beautiful piece. One of my favorite by Mozart. All right, so please share with us, how was it for you learning this piece, besides like you have to put together so many pages that it creates this kind of like a sheet of music, yeah? But you managed that. You managed all these page turns.
I guess I just laid them a lot in a large file. I guess it took a bit longer than a normal song. Shorter length things.
Yeah, how long you've been working on this?
Like 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's incredible. I love your execution of 16 notes and scales. Everything was even and articulated very nicely because usually I hear students playing this piece, the 16 notes, like being played too fast and articulation was suffering. But you executed it so nicely, everything was under control. Transition to back to the eighth note was really good. Let me check where's that section where you switch from 16 um, back to eighth note. So you didn't lose your control. Yeah, many pages to flip. So you know what I'm talking about, right? This section. Maybe a little bit of this page, right, where you have this dialogue between hands and those arpeggios, changing that split between right and left hand, yeah. So maybe you can practice a little bit more on that. And how fast are you going to play those grace notes right here?
I did about double the speed of the the other notes.
Yeah, because I would suggest for you to listen other performances, especially like famous composers. No, not famous composers. The famous pianist who performing this piece, because sometimes I hear they played a little bit faster, like this. Dum, 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 dum. So that way you're not losing the timing of the beat itself. But this is something that you could talk with your piano advisor and decide. Maybe listening few performers. I love your trills too. So, what part do you think that you need to improve and practice more?
I think generally the chords arpeggiated section is the worst for me.
Which one?
The arpeggiated section.
The arpeggiated, yes, arpeggiated, because you playing it in 16 notes. But great performance. You almost there. There's just a few spots that you need to kind of like a little bit polish it up, and it's beautiful performance. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, moving on to the next performer. And we have, let me just take attendance. I think Kaylee was just joined here. Yeah, Kaylee, are you here?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, please keep your video on so that way I can see everyone. Thank you. All right, Kiva, are you ready?
Yeah. I'm just not gonna play the first repeat in the piece
Okay.
because it's otherwise a little long.
Okay. And who's the what? Oh, it's a song. It's a popular song, right?
Yeah. My name is Kiva and I'm playing See You Again.
All right, Kiva. Great. Great song. I love it. First, I was wondering what kind of song is that because there was like nothing says right here. Like usually you see who the composer, who singer. And I was wondering, it must be popular song, but once you started playing those chords, can you hear my piano? Can you hear my piano? Yeah, so I could recognize the song from the very beginning. We have another participant here. So that was good. What are you still kind of like practicing on? What do you think that you still need to continue practicing on?
A little bit more on the rhythm and just, I guess, remembering the notes.
Yes, and it looks like you know what are you playing, the material, the notes and chords. You're pretty good at that and playing them. But because it's a popular music is always has this like a different rhythm, right? And sometimes it's challenging. For example, this is creates like almost syncopation, this rhythm in the left hand. Like if we have a time signature of 4 quarters, so there are how many beats are going to be in the one measure?
Or
4. So if we're gonna look at each measure as a scoop, I mean each beat as a scoop, so you can see how many notes are you fitting in one beat. And this is comes on 1, 2, 3, 4. This chord, it creates a little bit emphasizing the very weak beat, right? It's a beat 2 and. So that way it creates kind of like syncopation. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. Can you just try the chords and this way, just emphasizing maybe the second chord so you can feel this rhythm? I would suggest for you to count 1 and 2 and. Oh, a little bit late. 1 and 2 and. A little bit faster with the second one. Kiva, is that okay if I'm gonna ask you to count out loud? 1 and 2 and.
yeah, it's okay. 1, 2.
Yes. And the second measure too. We're just doing 2 measures. Yeah. So did you guys hear? As soon as Kiva started counting out loud, she got the second chord, like exactly on the timing she needs to play. Did you hear that? So I know you sometimes shy of, counting out loud the beats, but it's so helpful because you coordinating it with your voice and with your hands. And this is something that really makes it remember your brain remembers much faster and better. So now let's just try for me to bring the melody together with this and pop the second chord a little bit louder. Da 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 dam. Yes, because the rhythm, thank you, that was really good, Kiva. Because the rhythm is pretty much the same. So once you get that second chord, it's gonna help you with the rhythmical aspect for the rest of the song. Okay? But you doing great. I cannot wait to hear you playing it again. Great job, Kiva. Thank you for being open and counting out loud. All right, let's move on because we have more beautiful music to hear. Surya, are you ready?
Yes. Hello, my name is Surya, and I'm going to be playing Echo States by Ludwig van Beethoven.
Okay. right, Surya, great. You made it to the end, even though the middle part was so difficult, right, with those jumps. Yes, yeah. So you on the right track with the rhythm. It's just this middle section because of those octaves. Yeah, just make sure that you're really looking for them before even like so when you play in second D, your hand is already looking for F and then A, so those you can get those octaves, and it's gonna help you with the middle section. The rest was yeah, and I like your syncopation here. Dum bum bum. That's another syncopation. We've been talking with Kiva about syncopating her left hand in the pop music, but classical music has a lot of syncopation too. This one was like very common. Bum 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 bum, where we emphasizing the second note instead of downbeat. Okay. All right, great job, Surya. Next is, let me just take attendance to who's joined. Mikhaila. Okay, welcome, Mikhaila. I'm glad that you made it here. Okay, Kaylee, please introduce yourself and what are you playing today?
Hello, my name is Kaylee and I will be playing humorous.
Okay. All right, Kaylee. Thank you. This is your second time performing this, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember. So the first time we talk about, I like, by the way, your octaves here and staccatos in general was good too. I would suggest for you to really, in the beginning, even playing, just be present of what's the key signature. Do you know what's the key signature for this piece?
Um, and oh wait, sorry. My internet's kind of bad right now.
So who knows what's the key signature for this piece? Who can help? Yes, Kiva.
Oh, it's
F sharp and C sharp.
Yes, it's F sharp and C sharp, but what's the key signature?
Cut time.
No, that's a time signature, but the
Yeah.
key signature. I know
Yeah.
it's so confusing.
I
Time
said
signature.
the key signature is F sharp and C sharp.
Those are two sharps that's we're supposed to play, but it doesn't tell what key.
Oh, it's A major.
Huh? Surya, do you want to help out?
D major.
D major, yes. And how do you find out? How do you figure out the key signature?
I'm pretty sure something like finding the last sharp to the right. Then
Yes, and that's the
going up to
simplest and easiest way. So looking at the two sharps and just go to the next after the last sharp because we have only two sharps. This is going to be our last and this is C sharp because it sits right on the third space. So the next note after C sharp is D. So this is D major. And then we can always check with the bass note right here, right? The first note in the left hand and also the last note, right? So we can see that last note is D2. So this is D major. And why is it important for us to know what's the key signature for your pieces, like before you even start playing it? Who can tell me? Why is it important to know? Yeah, Joseph, do you want to answer that question?
The key signature determines the sharps and the flats for each key. So in this case, are the F and C sharp.
Yeah, so it tells you what's the hand position, and also it prepares you to remember that all the C and F sharp, they're gonna be played on the block keys, right? Unless we have a natural sign. So Kayla, the reason why I'm kind of like touching on that, because sometimes I was hearing that you're forgetting your C sharps right here, yeah? So what I would suggest to my students always to highlight them or right next to the note, because it's hard to remember everything, but you can hear, right? If you're missing sharps, you kind of like hear it. And there's another thing, like when you see the S al coda, where do you go from here? Where do you go from here?
You go to beginning and then you not
Yes, yes, you're right. You're going back to the beginning. Yeah. Did you forget to go to the beginning? But it's not very beginning. It's where we have the sign, right? That's the tricky part about DS al coda, because we're looking the kappa al coda, DC the al coda. It means that you're going back to the beginning, but this one is going to this sign, and then from here we are jumping to coda. So very confusing. All right, okay, Kayla. So thank you so much for performing second time, being so determined, and you're on the right track. Mikhaila, please introduce yourself and what are you playing today?
My name is Michaela. I'm going to be playing on the green.
Michaela, could you keep your camera on, please, so we can see you? Thank you. Oh, thank you, Michaela. What a lovely piece. Beautiful, beautiful. Good job. Good job. I never heard this before. Louis Tedbach. Yeah, I don't even know who composer is that. Wow, I learned something new today. Thank you so much for playing this lovely piece. So can you tell us how was it for you? Did you enjoy learning it?
Yes. it was like a pretty calming piece to me.
What is it? Can you say it again?
It was a pretty calming piece. I liked it.
Common piece? Okay. Yeah. So I see that we have a different key signature here, right? Do you know what's the key signature for your piece? Michaela. Michaela, do you know what's the key signature for your piece? You muted. If you talking, you're muted right now. Yeah, do you know what's the key signature? And it's okay if you don't know. That's totally fine. That's why we're here. We can figure out all together.
No, not really.
Yeah, do you know? No? Who can help Michaela and let her know what's the key signature for this piece? Kaylee, do you want to try? Okay, who brave enough? Surya, ready? Yeah, Kiva. Sorry, I didn't see your hand. Yes, Kiva.
It's G.
It's G major, yeah, because G major has a sharp. And we do exactly the same thing to figure out key signature because we have only one sharp. We just go to the very next note after F sharp, and this is G. And also by looking at the notes in the left hand, like what is it that I circle together? Like if we would play those three notes together, what is it gonna be? Who can tell? What kind of chord is it? Yes, Kiva.
A G major chord.
G major chord, yes. And let's take a look at the last note of the piece. Let's see if it's gonna confirm that we in the key of G. And yes, this is another G, and this is inversion of the G chord. Yeah, so very, very easy key signature to play because it has only one sharp, comparing to Kaylee's piece, because Kaylee needs to think about two sharps. This is only one. All right, great job. Thank you so much. I really appreciate how you participating and answering questions. And thank you for being here and practicing. And I'm looking forward to see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.